Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got something exciting. CFMoto's next big move, the 2025/26 750SR-S. If you love bikes that push boundaries and surprise you, this one's going to draw a lot of attention. Let's talk about what makes it special, where CFMoto is heading, and how it stacks up against what's come before. So, first things first, the 750SR-S. At first glance, it looks aggressive, sharp lines, sporty presence, but it's not a pure supersport. CFMoto is positioning it more as a do-everything all-rounder sport tourer, with enough flair to get your heart beating. It leans into versatility instead of track dominance, kind of in the spirit of bikes like the old Honda VFRs that married sporty character with usability. According to the launch info, the SRS tag is meant to denote a more street-oriented focus as opposed to an SRR, which would be more track-biased. What's really grabbing attention is the engine. This is CFMoto's first large-capacity four-cylinder machine. It's derived, in concept at least, from their 675 SRR triple, but extended into a short-stroke inline-four layout. The claimed output is 110 horsepower at 10,250 RPM and about 59 pound-feet of torque, around 80 Newton-meters, at 9,000 RPM. That's in the ballpark of the final generation VFRs that were beloved for their balanced performance. Now, before you get too excited thinking this is a track monster, let me temper expectations. CFMoto themselves say this isn't a GSX-R rival. They clearly see the 750SR-S as more of a street and tour machine with sporty DNA. Motorcycle News notes that the goal is to find that sweet spot, lively and fun when pushed, but comfortable enough for everyday rides or longer stretches. Design-wise, it's aggressive without being over the top. There are winglets built into the design. They're dual-level winglets that supposedly generate about 3 kilograms of downforce at speed. The styling feels modern, bold, sharp edges, muscular tank lines, a streamlined fairing that gives it presence from every angle. There's also a single-sided swingarm, which is a premium touch and gives that visual flair many riders love. The chassis is well thought out. You get a steel tube frame, not exotic but proven, with a rake of about 24.5 degrees, and suspension is handled by KYB. 43mm USD forks up front, fully adjustable, and a gas-charged rear shock. There's also a 20-stage adjustable steering damper included as standard. That's a nice touch, because when you combine sporty geometry with a lively engine, having that damper helps keep things planted when road surfaces get messy. Brakes are from Brembo. Up front you have M432 4-pot monoblock calipers and a twin-piston out back. For safety and modern control, the 750SR-S includes cornering ABS and lean-aware traction control, backed by a 6-axis IMU. Plus, it supports cornering headlights. Now, on the tech front, CFMoto is pushing some user-friendly and futuristic features. The dash is a 6.2-inch TFT display with functionality for tire pressure readouts, lap times, lean angle display, all the things riders expect now in premium models. There's also an optional T-Box system that lets you project Google Maps from your smartphone to the dash, do ride logging, route records, all that stuff to bridge the gap between modern connectivity and traditional motorcycling. One of the cooler bits is the 4-way keyless system, Bluetooth, app control, no physical key needed. The seat lock, fuel tank, steering lock, all electronically managed. That's futuristic, and in some markets, it's a feature people look for or expect in higher-end bikes. There's also automatic features like auto-on headlights in darkness and indicators that self-cancel. And there's an up-only quick shifter, helping with smooth, fast gear shifts when you're pushing pace. In terms of where it fits in the lineup, it's meant to bridge between their 675 SRR triple and the more exotic models they've teased, including a 200 horsepower V4 superbike concept they've already shown. Think of this as their middle ground, ambitious but grounded in real-world usability. Let's compare this with past CFMoto models. Historically, CFMoto has been strong in smaller displacement bikes and more recently in triples like the 675 SRR. The jump to a four-cylinder is a bold one. In earlier bikes, CFMoto often prioritized value and features over outright exotic performance, but this feels like a statement. We're here in the big leagues now. Some of the premium touches, single-sided swingarm, winglets, advanced electronics, suggest they want to change perceptions. Against the triple models, you'd expect the new 750 SRS to deliver a smoother, more refined power delivery, possibly better top-end response, and more composure at higher RPMs. How about rivals? It won't be directly chasing superbikes, but bikes in the mid-sport or sport touring category will be its yardsticks, machines that offer strong performance but also usability for longer rides. The cornering tech, electronic features, and ergonomics will play a big part in whether it succeeds in that segment. One thing to mention, I saw no mention in the article of hybrid power or electric assist. There is no indication this is a hybrid model. Everything points to it being a conventional internal combustion four-cylinder, so you should not promise hybrid capability unless more sources emerge. The source is pretty detailed and the article is clear about what they claim. As for pricing and markets, the article says the bike launched initially in China, and CFMoto suggests that it could go global, with a Western debut planned at international shows later this year. But they haven't released pricing yet, so for now we can only make educated guesses. Given the features and the positioning, it will probably aim to undercut or match competitors in the mid to upper tier sport touring segment. It will need to be aggressive in pricing to win hearts. In many markets, the brand still has to prove itself against incumbents like Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki, Ducati. In your video, you could tease speculation on pricing, something like, will it come in under $12,000, £10,000, or equivalent local currency? But clarify it's speculation. Now, how might this feel to ride, hypothetically? Given the specs, you can expect a revvy engine that spools up sweetly, the kind of motor that rewards pushing into higher revs while still being manageable in city or twisty roads thanks to modern electronics and controllability. The winglets and aerodynamic touches suggest they are thinking about stability at speed. The adjustable suspension, front and rear, plus the steering damper give confidence for spirited riding even on imperfect pavement. On longer rides, the ergonomics will matter heavily. The fairing, rider triangle, wind protection, seat comfort, things we don't have full detail on yet. But given CFMoto's intention, they'll likely try to balance sportiness with rider comfort. One caution: new bikes often have teething issues, especially when stepping up to new engine architectures. CFMoto will need to prove reliability, parts support, and service networks in each region. Enthusiasts will watch closely for how the early bikes perform in real-world tests, durability, refinement, and whether electronics and software are stable. I'd also highlight in your video how this model signals CFMoto's ambition. They're no longer content being known only for value bikes and mid-capacity machines. They want to push into premium territory. The 750 SR-S is a statement of capability, design maturity, and technical ambition.